Uh-oh. We got some buffering going on right now. But I think we're rolling. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement with yours truly, Mike Marino. And I got my special guest. This is Sharon Pfeiffer. She's an actress. She's a comedian. She's a well-rounded entertainer, and I'm going to say it that way, and you guys are going to find out why. We both have been tested for COVID-19, and we're negative, so let us take these masks off so we can breathe while we're sitting next to each other in this beautiful location in downtown Boca Raton. That's right, I actually was blessed to come out on tour. I did 6 shows at a place called Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida. And from Naples, Florida, just a day ago, I decided I would drive all the way over to the Boca Raton Delray Beach area because I do have some shows this weekend at the Boca Black Box on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. And I am so lucky because Sharon Pfeiffer will be on that stage with me, especially at the one in Boca Raton at the Boca Black Box. Say hello to Sharon Pfeiffer. Say hello, Sharon.
Hello, Sharon. Hi, Mike.
She's cute, she's adorable, she's talented, and she's here with me tonight. And we were just watching some great stuff on television, and we're going to talk about that right now because we were laughing about what we were seeing. So first of all, Sharon, say hello to everybody and let us know that where are you originally from? I want to hear that.
Okay, so I'm originally from New York, Long Island to be exact. All the way out in Long Island, Port Jefferson, and I moved here in 1998. So I've been living here for a long time, and I sound like I just stepped off the subway. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know about New York Nico. He's doing this hashtag Best New York accent, and I was actually one of the people, even though I live here in Florida, that they picked to like be in the New York Times and all that because.
No, I'm not familiar with this at all.
Yeah,
tell
it's
me
so
about
great.
it. What is it?
Well, he started it last year and like in the middle of the pandemic. He's so great. He's New York Nico on like he has millions of followers.
New York Nico.
New York Nico.
Shout out to you.
Shout out.
Hello.
Yeah. So.
And.
Anyway, but I'm just talking about my accent because it's horrific, and I've been living here for 200 years in Florida, and I sound like I said, I just stepped off the subway, so I can't get rid of it. As much as I try.
So you entered this contest?
Well, it wasn't a contest. As a matter of fact, I missed the deadline, and I said, I said I have to embarrass my kid, and I submitted anyway. I said I know I'm late. I'm always late. I'm always a day late and $1 short. I'm gonna enter anyway. And I said I yap all night long and bop, and they put me in, and I got in, and I don't know. So that's what happened. But anyway.
Well, you definitely have some kind of a New York accent. To me, because I'm from New Jersey, that sounds very Long Island, almost Staten Island, almost the nanny-ish.
Oh, no.
Which almost, I don't want to say the word nebbish or Jewish. It's a little bit more like a bite to it. And I want to say, okay, that's really great. And I think the theory is when a person's born somewhere, their ease, which is what we say is an accent, but their ease, because I took speech therapy when I was a teenager because I sounded like a dummy from New Jersey, so they say the ease doesn't go away after the age of 7. It's in your throat unless you study how to get rid of it. So there's people actually writing into the show right now in different parts of the country that they're from, and they have accents like from Atlanta or from Texas or from even Canada, but the New York accent is very pronounced and it's very different. You got the outer boroughs, you got Brooklyn. I don't know if Brooklyn was considered an outer boroughs, but you got the 5 towns, Staten Island, and they all are distinctively different.
Very.
Even within New Jersey, people go down South Jersey and they sound completely different than people from North Jersey. And then you got the people in the center of New Jersey, and I don't even know what they're talking about. But look at that. Gina is saying that she's a speech therapist. Well, we're going to need some therapy when the show's over anyway. And there's Michael Panzica, one of our fellow comedians who's watching the show right now too. So we're going to take in some questions. We're going to talk to a lot of different people, but we're going to find all about Sharon, what she's doing, where she's going, and why she has this New York accent still, which is kind of cool. But when we started the show, let me say this. How many people out there actually know someone that has to continually touch you when they're talking to let you know that they're talking to you? You do that a lot. There's a lot of people who do that. They go like this. Oh my God! And by the way, did you know? And did you know? Oh my God! And downtown. Oh, the other day we were at and after a while you got like a black and blue.
I'm guilty.
You're like, God, how
I
many
can't
times
help
do you
it.
need to remind me that you're talking? You're sitting right there.
I can't
There's a lot of
help
people that
it.
do that. They poke you, they poke you, they poke you. I think one of the coolest things I want to talk about before we get into what we just saw on the news, which is absolutely hilarious, but Sharon is wearing matching everything. She has a matching leopard skin. Is it leopard skin? A matching leopard print.
To go with my
The
dress.
leopard, bada boom, bada bing.
And then
She's
I
very
have
short.
shoes.
If she got up a little bit, you'd see ma da 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 da, and then her glasses even match.
Look. Well, the ladies.
No, show the glasses,
Well,
the edges.
They can't really see. You have to see the sides.
Leopard skin glasses, leopard skin mask, leopard skin dress.
The girls appreciate it.
And there's pink shoes.
And pink shoes to go with my pink sweater.
Yes, the pink shoes don't match the leopard skin, but it offsets the look. Nice watch. I'm talking about what she's wearing. Somebody says I have a nice watch.
Your watch is nice.
It's a $40 cheapo watch.
But we look nice together.
Oh yes, we definitely
Our
look nice
outfits are
together.
Complimenting each other.
I'm wearing my shirt that says New Jersey's Bad Boy, hoping people will buy them, and we'll probably sell some leopard skin jackets.
Carl, that's how Sharon rolls.
Yes, she definitely rolls and rolls and rolls.
Thank you, Gina, for the hair compliment.
You go, Sharon. All right. Sharon, blink twice if you need help. One of our fellow comedians, Michael Panzica, happens to be watching the show right now. Michael, probably should have you on the show while I'm still here in Boca Raton, and I will be here until Monday of next week, and then I fly back to New Jersey. We were watching the news tonight, so let's start off with what we just saw. I don't like to talk in the news, about things that are bad. I don't want to talk about the pandemic. I don't want to talk about whether we like the president or not. I don't want to talk about none of that. But in the news tonight, they were talking about the president's dog. Now, I think of all the topics that we need to be serious about, they were talking about the president's dog. Do you want to take it from here and what you saw?
The president's dog is a German Shepherd, a rescue, and he apparently is like nipping and biting people. He's not a friendly dog. And so they don't know what to do about it. And they had Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer, on to talk about what to do about this dog. And so between Caesar, who really, we couldn't really understand him very well, right?
Of all the things to talk about in this world, they're talking about how rebellious the dog became when he went to the White House because he's not friends with everybody who works there. He's not used to getting somebody different to walk him every day, so he's a little nervous and he's been snipping and been biting.
Tension.
He doesn't know where to take a shit. He doesn't know where to take a piss. He's all fucked up because he's a strange dog and he's a rescue. So what do? They call the dog whisperer. But the president can call the dog whisperer. The dog whisperer just happens to be talking in the news because he wants to tell everybody how to make it a good dog and what the situation is. And to me and to Sharon, it's ridiculous because now they're going to spend a lot of money trying to see if they can help this dog and waste a lot of people's time watching television. So now you got this guy Caesar Milan, who I can't understand. He has a very thick accent, and I don't think it's from New York. And he's telling everybody that the dog doesn't understand when people are talking to the dog because they all sound like they're from different parts of the country, and they don't. And the dog doesn't understand why there's a different person walking him every day.
It's traumatizing for the dog to be there, and he's not comfortable.
Yes.
And that's why he's biting people. But why didn't all the other presidential dogs bite people? Why only?
As far as I'm concerned, with all the shit that's going on in the world, you shouldn't have a dog. You shouldn't have a dog. You don't need a pet. Run the country.
I don't think he's, I don't think he should. Maybe it's maybe he needs a service dog. The
What
sky.
what the country needs and what the president needs, especially this president, is an elevator to get him in and out of Air Force One without tripping in front of the entire world. Let's all be honest. When a person trips and falls, we laugh. We think it's funny. And then we go, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? I didn't mean to laugh, but boy, did you fucking fall. That was hilarious." The whole world laughed when the president fell. And he didn't just fall. He fell 3 times.
Going up.
3 times the president tripped and fall. That's when the dog should have ran up and said, "Ruff, ruff," or something like that.
He should get the dog, train the dog to, help him up the stairs. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
I think it's just one of the strangest things. So let's get to Sharon and what she's all about. She's from New York. She says Long Island. There's a lot of different places around the tri-state area, especially when you go to Long Island, because I always thought Long Island was a city, but it's not. It's actually a suburb. And then there's the Long Island where people have so much money that they live on the water. But the people who live in Long Island that have a lot of money live in Boca Raton in the winter, and we call them snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
They call them snowbirds because they fly from the snow and land here for the summer, and then when it gets too hot here, the bird flies back to where it's not too hot.
They should be called homing pigeons.
Yes, they should.
Not snowbirds.
They should be called snobby.
Homing pigeons.
Snobbish. I've been entertaining some of these filthy rich people out here, and boy, oh boy, do they need to get spanked. Mom, would you like to comment on that? You live here.
No comment. I live here. What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say
Talk
yes.
shit about
You're
my
right.
neighbors?
They're fucking
No,
pieces
they're
of
wonderful.
shit.
They're wonderful. They're so wonderful people.
Let's-
They're just great. I love them.
I was entertaining this week at one of the shows, and some lady kept going like this. Yeah, I get good with it. That means she's so drunk she can't control her body. And her husband, or man, whoever was with her, was going shush, 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 but she wouldn't. Till I said, "You should smoke some pot. The pot will keep you from acting like a nut." And she said, "Well, my son's a big pot smoker and we're having troubles." And I said, "You got the wrong show. Dr. Phil comes on at 4 o'clock because she got problems." I've noticed a lot of rich people actually ask for discounts more than people who are broke.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how they get rich.
I don't get
Because
it.
they're good at, doing that.
"I don't like the way it tastes. Take it back." Shut up and pay for it, you asshole. You're loaded. What's going on, Instagram? Keep on watching.
I've never been able to do that.
I don't do that
I
either.
can't do that.
I just say, "Hey, can I pay extra for you to take this away from me?"
Then they get the hint.
Yeah. Well, you're hoping that they do.
I had a situation the other night where I was at an open mic, and so someone was sitting there giving me a hard time about my accent and being from New York, and then he said something about knowing people from New York, and I said, "What part?" And he says, "Well, I really don't know." And I said, "Well, what'd you bring it up for? If you don't know, what are you talking about?" I said, "You know what we like to say from New York?" He goes, "What?" I said, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, well, hey.
And then, everybody laughed, of course, but, I mean, just shut up. Shut up. I mean, don't heckle the comedians if you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's go deep into your life now. I know there's a little bit of mysterious things that go on in your were going on in your world before you left New York. So I don't know what you want to indulge upon, but we all watched Mob Wives. You kind of look like you might have been on that show. You kind of look like you might have been on the Real Housewives of New York.
Well,
Hold on, let me do a shout out to my cousin Lucille. Lucille, how are you? I just want to say real quick, the Marino family came to see me last week over at the Off the Hook Comedy Club, but they didn't stay. It was Caroline Marino, and not Caroline, her sister. They didn't stay after the show. I wanted to talk to them, but they left very quickly. So anyway, but hi, how are you? And I'm in Boca Raton right now. My family's all out here, especially my younger brother Anthony, my friend Peter Lemongello, who happens to be a cousin as well.
oh,
So,
Peter Lemongello.
Peter Lemongello is my cousin, and I'm having lunch with him on Friday.
Now I'm showing my age, but I like
You know Peter?
Yeah,
All
well, I
right.
like music.
That's the
Show
good old
me.
days.
Yeah.
Peter Lemon Joe was
Wow.
one of the first guys to come out on television and do an infomercial before they even had credit cards, and he
Wow.
became a millionaire. And then, of course, now he's an older gentleman and he's retired from the business. But maybe we can get him to come back and sing some of his classics and
Right.
his hits from back in the day.
Right. Wow.
So tell us about your life coming from what?
Well, I left New York to come to Florida, not for the normal reasons, find a rich husband and get a suntan. I left New York to get away from somebody in the middle of the night. I left 2 nail salons and my whole family and all my friends. It's a true story. You can watch it on I Married a Mobster, ID channel. They were on, that show was on for 2 seasons.
Okay, see, now we're getting to the interesting part of her life. She's not really
I have-
indulging. You got to
just
watch how she performs on stage. She really gets in there like an animal and digs in and makes everybody laugh. But she was married to people that were. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was basically married to the mob. I hate saying it like that because then it sounds funny, but for real, I really was. And so I had to get away from that, and I did. I left in the middle of the night, and I just wanted to reinvent myself, so I did. That's why I came down here, but in order to do that, I had to get a lifetime restraining order against my ex, and I did. And those are really impossible to get, Mike. There's probably a handful of women in the United States that have one of those. Generally, if you hear restraining order, or I know there's another name for those, but they're usually like 60 days, 30 days, maybe 90 days, or some women get a year or whatever. I have a lifetime restraining order against this individual. If you want to see the whole story, like I said, you can rent it. It's $1.99 to rent it. But yeah, so that was my life then, and then I wanted to reinvent myself, and I did. And I went from that to I am now a stand-up comedian. I'm an actor.
That's what a lot of people do. They
I'm a
run
writer.
from the mob and they become comedians.
Yeah, that's very common.
That's what you do.
Very common.
I'm on the.
Yeah, he's
that's
on
why
the lam.
they always say to people, "You're a comedian." What, were you connected? But can you go back a little bit, because you used the word or words. I had to leave in the middle of the night, and then you just left us. You got to tell us why. Why would that happen? Why would anybody's life say, you know what, I want a lifetime restraining order? Why?
Well, because the person that I was with was a psychopath, maniac, killer.
Okay.
Okay.
If you can't say it, we can go to a commercial break. But if
Well,
you can,
no. I mean, he was. So you want me to get into details?
Sure.
Well, he was with the Genovese crime family. His name was Joe Cali. Anybody out there know Joe Cali?
Nobody knows.
Okay, well, you never know.
We only know Michael Corleone. It's the only guy we know.
Well, no, he's a real person.
I know. I was
So,
making a joke. It is a comedy show.
But okay, but you want me to tell real things, so I'm
Vinny.
telling real things.
All right.
And so it was either leave at that point in time, or like I was just ready to and I didn't want to do that because at the time I had my daughter was only little, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go, because I just had to go. So I called my best friend up at the time. I said, Marianne, I need your help. I need you to help me pack up. I gotta go. She was like, what are you talking about? I said, if I don't go now, I can't do this anymore. And I knew I always wanted to move to Florida. I always wanted to live in Florida because it's so beautifully, it's paradise. And I said, I'm renting a U-Haul truck and I'm leaving. She said, you can't fucking leave. I said, I'm out of here. And that's what I did. I packed up and I just left. And I got a cell phone. We had cell phones back then, believe it or not. And I said, I'm so smart. I'm going to get a phone. This is all true. You can look it up. 516 area code, Nassau County. He'll never find me because it's a cell phone. And how will he find me? So I came down to Florida. I moved to Lighthouse Point. And I said, I'm going to be a real estate agent. That's what I said I'm going to do. And I went to Gold Coast Real Estate School. I signed up right away in December. I moved down here in December, and I signed up in December. I was so excited. And I'm sitting in real estate. It's all real. Ladies, I hope whoever's watching, it's all true. You probably think I'm a maniac. I am. But And I'm sitting in real estate school. Now, do you guys remember we had beepers too? I had a beeper and a phone. And I looked down and I looked down at my phone, and my phone rang, but it was on, silent, and my beeper went 143. And you guys remember 143 on the beeper? You know what
No,
that meant?
what is 143?
143 was I love you.
Oh.
And I went, oh my God. And then my phone rang, and it was his fucking phone number. I'm
Right.
sorry, I don't mean to curse too much, but it just pops out.
Yeah.
And then it rang again, and I turned, because I'm in my class, and it rang again, and that I started to shake. I started to shake because I knew it was him. And then we got the break, and then I started to hear the voicemail, and you effing C-U-N-T, you, he says, I'm out in the parking lot.
So he found you.
He found me. Now
Right.
guess how he found me? Everybody from New York, everyone who remembers Bo Dietl, who ran for mayor 2 years ago.
Yes.
Everybody know Bo Dietl?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the time, Bo Dietl was every wise guy's favorite, what do you call it? He was a PI at the time. And he was his best friend. And so when I went to real estate school, what do you do in real estate school? You get fingerprinted. Right?
She's so Italian, she actually has to go through the motions of what she's saying.
I'm sorry, but and I didn't know. I didn't know that a fingerprint does a whole thing, and that's how he found me. He goes, well, you're so fucking stupid. You think I wasn't gonna find you? You're mine. You're mine, Sharon.
So he came to get you?
He came to get me, and so I had to go through the whole thing. But let me tell you something about Florida as opposed to New York. I'm sorry if I'm taking up all
What's
the
the
time
whole
here.
thing?
The whole thing, the difference. Down here in Florida, they love going after those guys. It was like, woohoo! He's OC. OC is organized crime. In New York, they're like, lady, we can't go after this guy. His lawyer, Joe Famigetti, plays golf with the chief, the police chief. Unless you're bleeding, you got blood gushing out of your ear, we're not going after him. Go take a hike, lady. So I had no help in Long Island. They didn't want to hear anything in Long Island. But when I came down here, they were like, we're going to put a trap on your phone. They loved it. They were like salivating. They couldn't wait to get him. So that's what happens, people.
Well, what happened? Did they catch him? Did they
Yeah,
tell him to
they
stay away
ended up,
from
and
you?
you know what? The only way he stayed away from me is when I announced that I was getting married to Shorty 240, my ex-husband, Jim Pfeiffer. That's how I get this name, Pfeiffer, Sharon Pfeiffer.
What's Shorty 240? What does that mean?
That means he's short and he weighed 240 pounds. My ex-husband, Jim. When I announced...
Why, he was afraid of Shorty 240?
Well, Shorty 240 said, no. When I said to Joe, listen, you got to leave me alone, I'm getting married. It was like a bell went off. Apparently, if you tell these guys that you're going to get married, this is a true story, everybody, swear to God, on my kid. It's like, oh, okay, I can't fuck with her now because she's getting married. A married woman. I'm not going to fuck with her. You believe that? It's a true story. I swear to
No, it
Christ.
sounds like there's a lot of holes in this story, but...
No, it's the truth. I swear to God, on my grandson. On my grandson. He called the house. Jim Pfeiffer picked up the phone and said, I'll come over here. I'll put a baseball bat to you, whatever. He's this big, Jim, with glasses. And
Right.
short. And that was it. He said, you get married. Why don't you tell me you get married, Joe? Why don't you tell me you get married? If I would have known you get married, I would never bother you.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
Some of these stories sometimes always seem a
True
little
story.
too far-fetched.
It's
Like,
the truth.
what guy... I mean, I really don't know any guys that go after girls that don't want to be with them. They usually call it a day and end up cutting a big check and saying, here's your divorce papers, here's your money, go away.
I wasn't married to Joe.
You know, I know.
I wasn't married to Joe.
You weren't married to the mob boss?
I wasn't married to Joe.
Who's
I was
Joe?
married. Joe was my ex-boyfriend. Vinny, my ex-husband, was my daughter's father. I didn't run away from my daughter's father. I divorced my daughter's father after he put his hand to me, and that was that.
So you were married to the second... Oh, well, you went with Joe, who was the second guy you were
Right.
involved with after
Right.
you... And he was the one that was connected.
Well, they both were. It was my life. From the minute I got married to Vinny and got divorced from Vinny, once you're like in that life, that's it. Nobody comes near you. You're like, I was, that's Carmine Fiore's daughter-in-law. I was Carmine Fiore's daughter-in-law. So like regular guys, a regular schmo wouldn't come near me.
Okay,
You
so
get
the
it?
first guy you were married to, Vinny, was a connected man
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Did he know Joe?
Oh yeah.
So he was cool with you going with Joe?
No.
And Joe was cool with taking over from where
Oh, yeah.
Vinny left off?
Oh yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No.
How old were you?
I got married to Vinny when I was 22, and then we got divorced when I was 22 and a half. No, no, I'm kidding. I was divorced by the time I was like 24, because I left him. My daughter was 9 months old, and then I got together with Joe when I was like 26 years old.
Unbelievable. And then we all come out to different parts of the world to make changes in our lives. I only went out to Los Angeles, California so that I could make people
Okay,
laugh.
make me laugh now. Too serious, right? It's too serious.
Hey,
Let's laugh.
nobody tells me what to do on my show.
Too serious.
If they don't want to watch the show,
Let's
they can turn
laugh.
it off. That's an ex-boxer. His name is John Frieda. He's
No,
in-
let's laugh.
No. I know exactly who he is.
Okay.
You want to come up with something funny after something like that? Go ahead and dig yourself out of that
Wow.
grave. But we
Wow.
wanted to talk about that because
Okay.
my show has everybody on the show more than just comedians and entertainers. I've had doctors on my show. I had magicians on my show. I do it the way I want, especially when a friend tells you what to do.
Okay.
You go along with the flow.
I have to
Don't
take
even
a
read
sip
any of
of
these
water.
questions until it's time for the question and answer. In fact, maybe now's a good time to take in any questions. If anybody has any questions for either myself or Sharon right now, we'll go ahead and tell them or answer those questions. But you don't have to read none of this nonsense.
I don't want to make any.
No, don't even go there, especially with a guy who used to be an ex-boxer who was probably in the mob too. See, this is what you
Thank
want to
you,
read. Gina
Gina.
says, I like
Thank
Sharon.
you, Gina.
Sharon takes all this craziness that's going on in her life and the scariness of somebody chasing her and comes to Boca Raton, Florida, and decides to get into a lot of different businesses before she pursued her career as an actress and a comedian. We all know that comedy comes from drama, so when you live hard and you have a lot of drama, you could find it in your act somewhere, somehow.
Oh yeah.
You were also working in a hair salon, right?
A nail salon.
Nail salon.
Well, yeah, it was a hair salon, and I did nails in the hair salon.
A hair salon, a nail salon, a place that I very seldom need to go to. I cut my own hair. Wow, she is cool and brave and beautiful. See,
Thank
these
you,
are the people
Ingrid.
you listen to, not to
Thank
somebody
you,
who
Ingrid.
forces you into saying something funny. Ladies and gentlemen, never tell a comedian to be funny because they won't. If they become naturally funny around you, then you win. But whenever you tell somebody to do something, like this weekend, somebody kept telling me to do specific jokes. And I says, I know you want to hear them, but now that you told me to do it, I can't because it comes from a different angle, not from what you're saying. You guys are awesome people. You guys have a blessed evening. You too, Tanner. And yes, where's Tess?
Tess is up there.
Oh, well, I'm glad you can see that
Hi,
far
Tess.
away. Tess, watch us on
Hi,
Facebook.
Tess. She's not on Facebook.
Oh, well, okay.
Sorry, Tess.
Sorry, I meant no disrespect. Sharon and I are performing this Saturday night, and Sharon's actually going to be performing tonight, this weekend, Sunday night. And why don't you tell everybody where you're going tonight?
Tonight we're going to be at Arts Garage in Delray, right? It's their comedy night. They do it once a month, the first Tuesday of every month. It's in Delray, and it's a really great venue because they do a lot of different things. It's not just comedy. It's a fabulous venue, actually. They do theater, they do live music, it's a concert venue. I love it there. I really do. You've never been there.
I've never been there.
And you're going to like it.
We're going to take a drive over there tonight. We're going to watch Sharon get on stage and have some fun. She's going to talk all about her comedy. Right now, our friend Michael Panzica is telling us that Lorenzo Toledo knows Sharon.
Yes.
It's in the class, see? Okay.
Yes, we talked about that, Lorenzo and I, that he was going to take comedy.
Lorenzo, that's a nice Italian name.
Yes.
Lorenzo Toledo, sounds like something that you order at a nice restaurant. I'll have the Lorenzo Toledo with a side of
You know, Michael, I tell a lot of my actor friends to take stand-up comedy classes, which is how I got into comedy, Mike. Because I think it's just another tool in your tool belt as an actor. And I love comedic acting, and I just think it's, to get up on that stage is just, it's so brave, and I think it really helps with acting. I just think
And vice versa. If you're a comedian, take an acting class. If you're an actor, take a stand-up class. So you could be very, very well rounded in the industry. I never set out to be a comedian. All I ever wanted to be was an actor my whole life. But waiting around for the phone to ring, for an agent to call you and tell you you have an audition for something that's already been cast is a waste of fucking time. So I became a stand-up comedian and created my own career. I was going out every night of the week to perform somewhere, somehow around the world, and it makes you happy. And now here we are in 2021. I have a podcast. You're on the show. We're going out tonight to crack some jokes. We have 3 big shows this coming up weekend, and everybody's going to come out of this fucking pandemic bullshit, and we're going to go out and we're going to laugh, and we're going to enjoy, and we're going to make the money that we were supposed to make 2 years ago. It's always awesome if you can laugh out loud. Isn't it, Janine? Michael Fideli, comedy is much harder than acting. It is. If you want to be a comedian, try taking an acting class and play the role of a stand-up comic and watch what happens.
I can honestly say that I find it much easier to be an actor. The stand-up comedy, you have to write your own jokes, which is right there is a totally different animal, because not only do you have to write the jokes, you have to memorize the jokes, get up there, perform the jokes, and make the people in the audience laugh. So it's a whole different animal, as opposed to acting where someone else writes the script, they hand you the script, you just have to do it.
Yes.
Totally different.
Stand-up comedy, you have
Totally
to
different.
you have to write everything yourself, unless you're so rich you get somebody else to write it. But if you don't write it yourself, it probably won't be that funny.
Right.
Comedy comes from your life
Right.
and the way that you live. Everything else is really just going to be some bullshit. Sharon, are you seeing my post, Michael Newman?
I did see it, but I didn't want to interrupt Mr. Michael. Michael Newman is my Frank in my TV show.
Well, hello, Michael Newman. Do you have any questions you want to ask Sharon right now while she's on television? I want to fight John Frieda. John Frieda wants to fight John Frieda. That's how many times he was hit in the head.
He wants to fight himself.
John Frieda is a very funny comedian as well on the East Coast. He was a prize fighter back in his youth. He wrote this really great joke, and the joke goes like this, and I hope I do it justice. I'm a boxer, and I said to my manager, and his name is John Frieda, and he said, I want to be the best, and I want to fight the best, and I want to fight John Frieda. And the manager said, you will never fight John Frieda. And he said, why not? He said, because you are John Frieda. And that is fucking funny as shit. So thank you very much for saying that. I hope I did your joke justice. And if you watch my web series, Make America Italian Again, you will see John Frieda. He's the guy who picks up the pizza guy and throws him out the window. It's hilarious. And he did a great job in that. I hope we all get to film that project again, and then we can get guys like Michael Newman in the project, Michael Panzica, and of course Sharon Pfeiffer. Sharon was so beautiful when she came over and brought me candy.
Of course.
She brought me Lindt Classic Recipe.
I would never show up empty-handed. I brought you 6 bottles of water too.
She brought me 6 bottles of water and candy.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
take over.
I don't want him to be thirsty or die of starvation.
I love
The
chocolate.
people he's staying with don't feed him.
Yeah.
He didn't get an Easter basket.
I didn't.
He didn't get nothing.
I didn't even get the beats I gained.
You know? What kind of
From
people,
anywhere.
What kind of people are these?
Sharon, tell us about the pilot you just shot.
Well, you were saying that all comedy stems from tragedy, right? And, well, it's very loosely based on my own life and whatever. I wrote a script. I co-wrote a script. Well, it was sitting in my brain for about 10 years. And because I'm not good with technology or writing, there I go again, look. I have a friend who's an option screenwriter. She's amazing. She knows how to format and all that good stuff. Her name is Denny Scher. And she helped me to pull this out of my brain. It's called From Brooklyn to Boca. Can I talk about it a little bit?
That's a great title, From Brooklyn to Boca.
From Brooklyn to Boca. And it's basically about, um, I'm just going to say it really quick. Frank Refuto, also known as Forget About It Frank, and his wife Regina and their son Carmine have to go into witness protection. Okay? And I'm not going to say too much more about that. But instead of going to Iowa, where they were originally supposed to go, because Frank fucked it up, and I won't go too much into it because I don't want to give too much away, they get sent down here to Boca. Okay? But that's not the only thing. Frank and Regina and Carmine Refuto have to change their name to Irv, Sheila, and David Greenblatt. And they have to go from being Catholic to Jewish. They have to become Jewish, and they got to go to the temple, the shul. So it's very funny. Everything is like a little crazy. They got to take all their crosses and everything, and they got to throw them away, and they got to become Jewish. It's very funny. So we hope to get picked up, and I hope that you guys watch it. From Brooklyn to Boca. Okay.
Well, it sounds like a great concept, from Brooklyn to Boca, and it's a nice fish out of water story.
Fish out of water.
We'll see how that all ends up, and you never know, maybe there'll be a cameo, and I get to play the pizza guy, and I bring some pizza.
Pizza bagels.
Pizza guy, I bring bagels.
Pizza bagels.
Yeah, okay. And we'll have some fun with that. Why don't you tell everybody about the opportunity of what you're going to do Sunday night at the Boca Black
I'm so
Box?
excited. Well, only because of you. So Mike calls me up and says, "Guess what?"
No. That's not really the way this went.
It isn't really the way.
We're
it
all
went.
entertainers, and
We're all
entertainers all
entertainers.
hustle to
Yes.
get themselves some stage time in places all around the
Yes.
country.
He's
And
very.
this was a great time for her to come down and perform at the Boca Black Box, which is where we're all entertaining this Sunday night at 7
I have
o'clock.
performed there before, but never with anyone as big as him. And so I'm honored and excited because I get to perform on the same stage as Mike. And I'm going to do all my best material, and I'm excited to do it. I think this is going to be one of my biggest shows that I've ever done.
Well,
To be honest.
hopefully it's a Sunday night here
Sunday
in Boca
night.
Raton.
Sunday night, 7 o'clock, 7 to 9. I think we're almost sold out.
Well, I don't know how many tickets were sold, but you could also buy tickets and watch it from your home.
Virtual.
If you're afraid of the whole
Yeah.
COVID-19 thing, which a lot of people out here in Boca seem to me to not even know that there was a pandemic. It's kind of strange because I'm coming from Los Angeles, where people were wearing 4 masks and hoodies. And in New Jersey, everybody was under 3 feet of snow. Then you come out here and everybody's like, what happened? I don't see nothing.
Well, we have the best governor in the whole world. Well, at least in the United States, I think.
Right.
Maybe I'm being a little impartial, but he's fantastic. He believes in freedom, and that's enough about politics, but I really like him. And
You know, she's talking about how much she likes the governor. She started to get very sexy. All of a sudden she's like, I like him. I think he's kind of
I really
cute and this,
like
that, and the
him.
other thing. Uh-oh, there goes the purr we were looking for that goes with the leopard skin dress.
I really like him a lot.
Here we
Anyway.
have a hot New Yorker who's here in Boca Raton, and we won't ask her too much about her personal life. By the way, she's giggling. It could be very interesting. Thank you, Michael Panzica, for putting up the Boca Black Box. It's very nice of you to put that up there because that's where you get the ticket.
Actually, I wasn't aware that they had the virtual tickets.
Yeah.
I really wasn't, and I think it's really great that Boca Black Box does that.
It's great that they do that, and it is and it isn't, because when you're a live performer, we would rather the people came to the
Yeah,
show
it's
and
so
not watched
great.
it from their house, because that sucks for live performers.
It's
If you
so
come and
great
see it, and you
to
come in
perform
person.
live. Oh my God.
Who wants to perform for people who are sitting in their living room when they could be out with us enjoying the night?
There's nothing like performing live. Nothing.
Right.
No.
I hope Mike Newman's coming to see the show.
I don't know. I think he's.
Michael Newman, we got a big show on Sunday night. She's going to be taking the stage in a big, big way, and I think a lot of people are going to actually be there. The link is good for in-house as well. Yeah, I know. We just got done saying that. Totally agree with Sharon about DeSantis.
Oh, thank you.
Virtual tickets, live shows are the best. Yes, live shows are the best,
Oh, there's
people.
Joy. Hi,
Stop
Joy.
doing that.
Oh, sorry.
We want you to come out to the show and watch it live. Because if you don't, guess what happens? The places go out of business and then you don't see anything. Without a show place, how would anybody get to see it in person or at home? We'd have to keep doing stuff like this from this beautiful house that we were asked to stay in to do this, asked to come to do this podcast.
Oh, and
It's a
I just
beautiful
said
house.
not nice things about the people. I was criticizing their hostessing abilities.
Yeah,
They
well,
didn't even give you any water.
yeah, live performance is the best. They give you water. Come out to see the show in
They have a
person.
nice green room at the Black Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can come into the green room. Scott Cunis, what up, bud? How you doing? Hey, Scott, how you doing, man? Hey, listen, I'm sorry I didn't get in touch with you, but I'm kind of busy. But tomorrow I'm going to the beach for the day. I'm going to visit my brother in Delray Beach. We're going to have a lot of fun, and then we're going to start doing all kinds of promotions for all the shows that we're going to be doing this week. So if anybody has any questions for Sharon, now would be the time to ask that. If not, go ahead and plug everything where we could find you on the internet.
Oh, you want me to? I'm
Where
on
do we find Sharon Pfeiffer?
I'm on Instagram, Sharon Pfeiffer, not verified. He's verified, I'm not. But that's my name, Sharon Pfeiffer, not verified. And it's Pfeiffer. You're probably going to want to spell it like PH or something, you know. No, just like Michelle, Pfeiffer. And then I'm also on Facebook, like all good boomers are. And that would just be Sharon Pfeiffer on Facebook. And that's it. I actually did a TikTok last night for the first time ever. My first TikTok, and it was very weird. It was a weird TikTok.
Well, where can we see this TikTok? What'd you do?
Sharon Pfeiffer Official, I think. I don't know. I'm not good at the social media. Sorry. I have to take some lessons from Mike. He's really. I'm not going to touch.
I have a
He's
social.
really good at it.
I actually have a social media manager who produces this show. She also produces the Not So Late Show, the last Sunday of every month at 7 o'clock. This is Tatiana Bluchel. Tatiana Bluchel at besocialmediamanagement.com. Besocialmediamanagement@gmail.com.
I gotta get me one of those.
So you get it? Yeah, well, she does all of this stuff. She creates a lot of this stuff, and she's the one behind the scenes right now in Los Angeles, California, making sure that this show goes out the way it's supposed to, and then it repeats itself on many different platforms. We could talk about that real quick, all right? So say one more time where we could find Sharon and where she's going to be, especially this Sunday night at 7 o'clock.
Okay, you can find me again on Instagram at Sharon Pfeiffer Not Verified, and you can find me on Facebook at Sharon Pfeiffer on Facebook. And then this Sunday, I will be at the Boca Black Box Theater in Boca Raton with my dear friend Mike Marino. 7 o'clock, live, on stage, and you can get tickets at their... Right?
BocaBlackBox.com.
There you go, Boca Black Box.
Right now, one of our friends is writing into the show, and the last time I played the Boca Black Box was about a year and a half ago when my friend Vinny Ciceri, who is in a lot of movies, and he was in Analyze This. And Vinny, yeah, we didn't have any food to eat on right now because we're getting ready to go out to dinner here in Boca Raton. And we're going to go to Art's Garage and have some fun and watch Sharon get on stage and make us all laugh. And you all know where to find Sharon in the future. Watch her comedy, watch her debut of the pilot, stay in touch with her. And if you want to come to the Boca Black Box Theater this Sunday night at 7 o'clock, BocaBlackBox.com for tickets. If anybody out there would like to be on my show, live from my mother's basement, all you have to do is write to the producer, Tatiana Bluchel. Tell us why you would like to be on this show by writing to Mike Marino Entertainment at gmail.com. That's Mike Marino Entertainment at gmail.com. Vinny, I apologize. You and I really need to do a couple more shows. Mr. Panzica, I need to have you on a couple of shows. and that's the way you do it. And don't forget, the last Sunday of every month, the Not So Late Show with me, Mike Marino. We do it every last Sunday of the month, featuring great comedians and great singers from around the country, and we actually film it in the basement of my house like we normally film this show live from my mother's basement. But tonight, we happen to be in Boca Raton, and we're getting ready to go do the town. All right, you can find me at MikeMarino.net. All my social media is at Mike Marino Live, especially YouTube. Watch that YouTube channel. You're going to see some funny skits, and especially the new TikTok skits that I'm going to do with Sharon. And we're on every single platform you can think of. YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Patreon. You could pick your favorite podcast app and watch this show and listen to this show forever in the future on any one of those sites. All right? My name is Mike Marino. I want to thank Sharon for being on the show with us tonight. We had a lot of fun.
Yes,
we hope you guys will keep on tuning in and watching what we do and where we go. And we're going to go out and have some fun right now. So remember, let's make America Italian again. The motto is, you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, and you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By always saying the same thing. You ready? Don't take no shit from nobody. Ready? No, we're going to say it.
I know.
You never heard me say that?
I used to all the time.
Yeah, we got to say it. Ready?
Right.
Don't take no shit from nobody.
Good night.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.